How did... Can you record from this camera cannot flip it? This is annoying. This annoys me. Oh my god. Fucking god. How do you not... Is it not a flippable thing? Do you have to start recording from the other camera? Use my toes. God fucking damn. I'm so goddamn pissed. I'm so fucking pissed. I don't even know what to do. I recorded so many things. I said so many things. There's so many things in the last video and they're gone. They're so gone. Gone forever. Never did, you know. I can't even. I can't even pass out right. I'm so fucking tired. My hands are moving. You see this way. See what my hair is doing and I can't stop it. Oh. My mind. Hurts. I got a text from my sister saying basically problems with insurance and refilling my prescription for the one medication I know does help me with the problem I do know I have, which is being in sad boy hours when I shouldn't be. And so now that means if that doesn't get fixed, then pretty soon I'm gonna stay sad boy for a long good while, unless I finish going through withdrawals from my SSRIs, which I might have to do to switch medication anyway, because it's possible that some of the problems that I'm going through could have something to do with the medication I'm taking, but I don't think this would have anything to do with I don't think this is a classical presentation of anything that I've ever heard of in any kind of medical community, and so I don't see how it would be a result of Prozac, the most probably common prescription of all time, because antidepressants tend to be overprescribed, especially here in America. But let me tell you something. I know that I need them. I once, for a long time, I thought I didn't. I tried it for a summer. The summers are my worst time. Long story short, I was told by my family to get myself checked, to go to talk to somebody and get shit fixed. And that's how that it ended up going into that direction. And after a few weeks, I got better, and I made other life changes. So I was thinking maybe I'm better because the other things I did, like walking and eating a little bit better, and I don't know, sleeping slightly better or something. I don't know. I don't know. It's easy to think that the good things that happen in your life are the result of your own actions, and the bad things are just the situation you're put into. Yeah, I'm still recording. Cool. And so I stopped taking them, and things are kind of okay for a little while, but they definitely were less good for the whole school year after that. And it wasn't just school, because honestly school didn't stress me. I had a 4.0 the first year here at college, so I stressed a little bit to make sure I got it, but I mean at the end of the day, let's be real, it wasn't that bad. Actually, the second semester was a whole different thing, fucking COVID, but that's a whole nother story, and trust me, I was fucked up way before this shit happened, so that's got nothing to do with that. And I was talking about grades for some reason, right? Yeah. Point is, my point was that academics aren't really the main stressor in my life. It's this itself is the main stressor, and so sometimes I guess to avoid stress, I avoid thinking about it. But other things can cause stress. It's easy for me to avoid. It's not easy actually, but that's what my preferred thing to do in life is to just avoid all my problems. But guess what? I'm not a druggie, at least not yet, and I'm not an alcoholic either. Probably never will be that. And so I can't escape the easy way. I just have to distract myself with other things, and I guess maybe that's why I'm addicted to taking naps. I don't know. I'm talking too much. Nobody would care about all of this. I don't even know if I would care about this if I listen to a video of this later. I don't know anything about me. Oh my god. At least least his hand hasn't moved in the last couple minutes. That's pretty good. This is my leg. I guess I'll flip it this way. Oh, wait, was it hard to... Just like using my mind the way I'm supposed to is what causes it to hurt. Okay, I have to like intentionally relax parts of my body at a time. My heart tickles. I'm trying to have part of my brain see this from the objective point of view, which is going to be pretty similar to how you guys would be seeing this. But no, there wasn't supposed to be a but there. I said that because I didn't know where I was going because I forgot. So my point was that if I were to have to take a guess from an objective point of view, what I think is wrong with me, it would have something to do with some kind of anxiety condition, because definitely my state of mind, well, it's all in my state of mind, so it's, well, not all of it, but a lot of it's in my mind, so it's obvious that there's stuff in my mind that would affect it, because fucking it's the same organ, the brain. It's a confusing organ, but point is, all of the causes and symptoms seem to be very anxiety related, but maybe that's just a result of excessive confusion and pain. Maybe that's the normal response to an abnormal situation. I would consider my life to be an abnormal situation. Oh yeah, in case you're wondering, man, how does this guy get so fucked up? Well, is there something shitty going on in this family? Yes, there is. And not just going on right now. No, my entire life is in fucking mess. My entire family's a huge ass fucking mess. Like, it would have been easier if I just had some, cousins and uncles and stuff here and there that were just like drug addicts or went to jail or something simple like that. But no, my family is fucked the fucking fuck up. Such an annoying to explain way. You know what, that might make for an interesting story one day, but I can't do that. I told my friend one time I was going to write a book, but now I don't think I can do it. But I said it only a few weeks ago. But I told her in the book, reading the book, it was supposed to be, when you read it, it gives you the experience of what it's like to be in my mind. And so if people finish the book and they say, that made no sense, I didn't like that, my life doesn't make sense. I don't like it. And it's not just any kind of, it doesn't make sense. I don't like it. It's not just the same, conclusion there. It's supposed to be the same journey. It's supposed to be reading that book is literally an example of journey of what it's like to live in my mind. And, it's not supposed to be enjoyable. It's supposed to be informative. But I don't know. Relax. Relax. I noticed I didn't have a sudden movement when I kind of came back into things here, and I was never fully asleep there, but I did get kind of drift. I did have a sudden slap and I drifted, but I didn't go to sleep. But oh yeah, see, this is what I mean when I say attention is something that's a very big struggle for me, because it's not just every few seconds I'm like, oh wow, I can hear the sink dripping, and someone's in the middle of talking to me. I'm just like, oh, that reminds me of the time I had pizza, and some of my friends said, like, I can't even focus on what I'm focusing on. And see, when people describe psychosis, it seems like you kind of need to have something, at least one major, obvious, severe thing to point to that's like, I'm having delusions or I'm having hallucinations. Well, I'm not seeing or hearing or tasting anything that's not there. I guess I'm feeling things, but that's my own body. I guess maybe tactile hallucinate. I don't think they're hallucinations either, because I think it's just my body responding to things. I'm having abnormal movements, and I can feel my own movements, which you should be able to feel yourself. And that's proprioception right there. I think I have maybe not the greatest proprioception, but I can tell my fingers are moving, my toes are wiggling and stuff, and that's good enough. And the point is, what was the point? What was the point? Point was I can't. It's something about I can't focus. Ow. And my teeth now. My teeth get worse. My teeth have been getting a lot worse in the last few months. People say my teeth look fine. They're like, oh, why would you get braces? Your teeth look fine. I say, because they see on my show something like this. In reality, I relax my teeth. Not only are they uneven on the left and right side, and just spacing there, but my bottom teeth go back farther than my top teeth. And then if I also do that, look how fucking massive this override is. That's not normal. And so my relaxed default state is something like this. But I guess when I smile, you open your jaw. So I guess I put it like that, but my mouth is relaxed. I have a massive overbite. I guess people don't realize that. God, who would care about my dental records? I can't tell if I'm just hating myself excessively, if I'm being realistic about how this is so all over the place that it's not even entertaining to anybody anymore, and therefore it's not interesting and nobody cares. And I'm just gonna be forgotten and stepped on and gone, forever confused and never understood. I'll disappear unknown to the world. It's quite sad. I am aware that I do have a deep desire to be unique in some kind of way, but I also know that I've already had the ability, if I could focus, to make specific changes in the world, make the world a little better in the way I want it to be. I mean, I like to live by one of the quotes. It's from Gandhi, ya boy. It's be the change you want to see in the world. This isn't what I'm doing and feeling and all this stuff now. I don't want the world to be anything like how I see and feel right now. It's not fun. It's not enjoyable. It's not a life worth living, honestly. But because I know that there's life outside of this, I continue. I mean, there's also the fact that even if I wanted to, die right now, I kind of don't know how I could make that happen, except by accident. Because I can't really focus on anything I'm doing right now. I'm so tired. The other day, my sister was here. I'm at my friend's house. I'm at Steven's place. I always say the specific phrase, Steven's place, because it's not a house, but it's not an apartment. It's like a township or something. Is this a recording? God, this is gonna be a long video. I'm so sorry. What am I sorry for? I have nothing to apologize for. Therefore, reason. God, I fucking hurt. These shivers sending down my body. I think there's something wrong with my spine too. Could it be could it be a kind of infection in my spinal cord that moved up into my brain? Could be. My back hurts a lot. It cracks too much. My dad has something wrong with his neck that he went to a bunch of doctors for, and they said they didn't know what was up with it, and so it could potentially have something to do with that too, maybe. I forget about that a lot of times. My dad, he's not the coolest dude. But he's not the worst. But in some ways, he's actually pretty close to the worst. I'm not getting into that. I'm not getting into that. Maybe one day I can manage. But see, sometimes I'm actually so far worse than this. I can't even figure out how to change my YouTube account and press the record button. So this is actually not like the most extreme. This is just it's kind of far on the spectrum, but no, things could be worse than this. Things have been worse than this for sure, and they probably will be again. I probably still won't be able to capture it, but hey, this is enough to know and prove that there's something that is not okay, not right, and I'm not fine. I'm not okay. I'm not okay. 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 You know what? Here's this video. It's out there relatively soon. I have one message that as far as short, medium term results I would like to get if this video gets seen is I'm trying to apply to this MEDEX program, Tier 2, because lots of reasons, but as you can obviously tell, medical problems, it can be quite confusing, difficult, challenging, puzzling, and it's gonna sound bad because it's like, Dr. House, which I haven't finished watching House. I have one episode left. I'm saving it. I'm saving the last episode. I'm hoping I have high expectations for it. I'm saving it for a special occasion. I finished the second last episode, I think technically this morning or maybe last night. I don't know my hours anymore. Why are we talking about House? Oh yeah, because I like puzzles too. And as I was watching the show Diagnosis, I called the heck out of the second episode when they said Lyme disease. By the way, I had Lyme disease. My doctor tested me and came out positive. He gave me doxycycline. Ooh, fun stuff. And so, there's so many details. It's so overwhelming. I don't know what's relevant. Maybe it's all relevant. Maybe my special state of mind is an emergent property of all of the crazy things in my life all together. Therefore, it can't be explained other than simply knowing all of the conditions and then knowing the outcome, which you couldn't know unless you do it. Actually, even I don't know. No one can know. Maybe it's a thing no one can know. But I don't think so. I think it could be known. It just would be difficult. My voice changes when I talk sometimes, and I'm aware of it, but I can't quite do anything to fix it. God, this is what a fucking nose feels like. It's so warm and meaty. I thought there would be more like, oh, this feels like I'm feeling someone else's nose. Because, like, when you feel somebody else's nose, it's got a different sensation than when you feel your own. This feels like I'm touching someone else's nose. And this guy's nose, it's kind of greasy. But that would make sense because it's my nose and I haven't showered in a few days. I've been meaning to. I keep telling myself I'm going to. I keep telling myself I'm going to do a lot of things. Honestly, at this point in my life, a lot of times I feel like a failure because I know the silence kills me. Oh my God. Make it stop. So I came here to you guys, which is probably better than what I was going to do, which was going to be just talk to one person who was not going to understand me and forget all about it later, and so was I, and then I would never actually get anywhere anyway. But it would have been the easiest way to feel most immediately understood, get some feedback, and have someone go, interesting, that's weird, I don't know why it's happening, or whatever the basic cliche you say to all this stuff is. But I wanted to talk to somebody. I don't have anybody to talk to, and so I wrote a little thingy in my notepad on my phone about how not only, like, just imagine what it's like to not have anybody you can talk to, but take it one step further and imagine you can't even talk to yourself because you're so far gone, you can't understand yourself, and you know you're by far the closest to understanding yourself compared to anybody else, and you know how far you still are. It's like you're 10% of the way to understanding your own self, and everybody else is like less than 1%. And it's people, when they think they know anything about you, it's actually painful because they're just so far off. It's like trying to explain to someone what a dog is, and they're just like, oh yeah, I know what a dog is. It's that red thing you put in the blender, right? And you're just like, first of all, you're not even close. And second of all, what the fuck are you even talking about? Like, where did you even get that from? It's like, not only did you not hear me, it's like you're stupid too. That's how fucking far off everybody else seems to be from trying to understand my, I guess you could call it my plane of existence, which I am aware of the fact that we're all existing here in the same universe or whatnot, but it's the closest thing to... I've been asked... I had a counselor at... We have a program here at Clemson called CAPS. Counseling and Psychological Services is what it stands for. And, by the way, she's very cool. She's a very cool lady. She's actually helped me a lot. So this isn't me post-help. Just imagine when I couldn't make the videos. It's worse, I promise you. And where was I going? I was talking about her. She's cool, because she is cool. Why was I talking about her? I'm going to reverse engineer my own prior thoughts. Let's see. So I was talking about her and how she's helped me. Before I was talking about how she helped me, I was talking about a different aspect of her, so I can rule out that possibility. Another reason she could come up is because she is somebody I've talked to. I don't think I got here from people I talked to. It's something she understood or didn't understand about me, I think. It feels like I'm getting closer in the right direction. I remember the comment I said about people being so far off. She's pretty close, actually. She seems to almost slightly understand. Really, she's aware of what she doesn't understand, and that's something I appreciate a lot. Because, I mean, it's annoying to have someone who thinks they know what's going on in your own head better than you do. Which, on one hand, it would be kind of cool if someone did. But at the same time, I don't think anybody can. It would have to be convincing for me to believe that. Rationality, I'm making rules and following logic. Why am I doing that? What would be the purpose? Is that a hint towards something? Where am I? My hand has been moving around my ankle for a while now, like rubbing around the ankle bone. Now, I get them mixed up. It's either calcaneus or the talus. I'm going with talus because I think calcaneus is the heel bone. Popliteal fossa is the space behind your knee, and the space in the front of your elbow is called the cubital fossa. I think that's interesting, and therefore I'll remember it. Boom. Other reasons why I'd be a cool doctor. Point is, I totally forgot what I was talking about her, but medics. Let me talk about medics again. I want to do that so bad. Okay, when people talk about wanting somebody who's, from a diverse background, who thinks differently and all that jazz, I don't see anybody being like the pinnacle of that more than where I am right now. Because if this isn't thinking differently, I don't know what it is. Oh, it was about LSD. Well, not LSDs in particular. So I was talking to my friends one time about shrooms, and they were telling me what it was like, because it's psychedelic. And so my counselor, she asked me if I was on any psychedelics based on what I had said to her that day. The answer was no, but my friends described just a day before that actually what it was like when they did shrooms, and because it's psychedelics, and all the effects of that, and some of the things they said that were supposed to be really weird. I was like, well, I kind of feel that on a normal day-to-day basis, just me being me. One of the things that stuck out in particular was it's like sensory overload. You're just slammed with so many senses, so many places all over the place. Your mind it's like, compared to the phrase mind is racing, like it makes that seem like nothing. It's more like your mind is exploding into different dimensions, and that's why you have to use that kind of terminology that is all hooey and whatnot in terms of actual dimensions and whatnot, but it's the closest analogy to a sensation that's otherwise unexplainable completely. I mean, it's still not explained, but I don't know, I guess it's at least agreed upon. How does language become meaning? That's a whole nother topic. We won't talk about that. I really am tired. I promise. Did you guys see my toe spasms earlier? Earlier, I thought it was something like Korea. Korea. Like after the phrase Huntington's Huntington's chorea. Whatever. Well, I don't think it was that. I think it was a different movement disorder. I'm trying to remember which. Maybe it was apoptosis. I don't know. I feel like I have a few different. I love the myoclonus stuff, because that's the more like, that's the what you think of when. This is what I think of when I think of muscle spasm. It's like real sudden, like jerking, just boom, very involuntary. There's like nothing you can do about it at all. Cause I had those all throughout my body too, but like, or I don't know if those count because they're like low intensity. Because when I imagine those, they're like, because it is still shock like, but it's not like always high intensity. Sometimes it is. But like usually they're just like low intensity spasms throughout my body. I just like kind of happen real quick, and sometimes that's why I can't walk in a straight line. It's because it's like, I guess my core muscles are having like really small spasms, and so like my feet are flopping my feet aren't flopping, but like I'm kind of pushed to the side, it feels like sometimes, just like really suddenly. And I can try to adjust, but there's only so much you can do. Like yawning. Yawning makes me feel. I've been tired the way I've been. The way I probably showed. I've been tired like that for months. And most of the days I don't yawn at all. Because that's why when I just yawn now, it reminded me. I get really happy when I yawn. Well, I don't really, but. Excuse me. I consider it a very good sign when I yawn, because I consider that, quote unquote, normal people kind of tired. Like, I think there's a handful of different kind of meanings you can try to describe with the word tired, and it's the best word for what we have here. But trying to describe like 8 different sensations with the same one word, you can't differentiate them all, and they're all very different, and so that's quite a letdown. I mean, I could try to make up words for them myself, but people still wouldn't know what I meant when I said them unless I taught them the whole words. I had to define them all and everything, and it's something I'd be willing to do. But as you can tell, my ability to delegate tasks to myself and complete them in an orderly, organized fashion is a bit impaired. Haha, that was a joke, because I am like the definition of impaired right now. Other than if I was literally in another dimension and couldn't see, hear, or understand people around me right now. But I'm aware of my environment around me for the moderate part. Maybe not the most part. But I don't know if I can respond to like basic questions and stuff like that. Sort of. No, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Panic. You can panic if a stimulus is too stressful, but right now, if I can test myself, I give myself a command. If I say go make ramen noodles right now, or at least I think I could be able to do that. But I'm really tired. I don't wanna. I haven't eaten much in the last few days, and it's not because I'm not hungry. Actually, no, I haven't been hungry. I forgot. But a lot of days, even when I am hungry, and I still don't eat anything because I'm. By comparison, the hunger is like nothing because the tiredness is on a whole nother scale. It's like, how do you describe it? It's like if you're on a scale of 1 to 10, it's like, how hungry are you? And I'm like, I don't know, like 5, 6, like I've gone a few days without eating before. I've been like really hungry before in my life. I know what it's like to be starving. I was starving a lot as a child, all that stuff, It's just another part of my, childhood life there. Starved for a lot of it. But yeah, I know what it's like to really be hungry, and so when I say 5 or 6, it's probably all you wusses out there who like haven't gone a whole day without eating in your entire life would be like, oh my god, 10. Like, no, 5 or 6, it's still pretty bad. Hunger is not normally supposed to be that bad. If you eat when you normally eat in a day, you won't get past like a 2 in hunger, unless you have some kind of medical condition or something. I don't know, but I'm pretty hungry. And I hate when people go past 10 on a scale of 1 to 10, because that's literally the whole point. A 10 is like something you use only once. But when I say it's on a whole nother scale, it's like by comparison, the only way to actually compare is if my hunger is like a 5 or 6 on a scale of 1 to 10, my tiredness is literally like about a 12,000. It's literally like, it makes the hunger almost just nullified. It's nothing. I kind of consider the scale of 1 to 10 kind of like a bell curve thing, but I don't know if you guys would understand how my numbers mean. Like, difference between like a 5 and a 6 is not that big. The difference between a 9.1 and a 9.2 is absolutely massive. Stiff neck. My neck is more stiff than anything else. Sometimes I'm happy, but not now. Hey, anybody watching this? I'm really curious. What parts would you consider the most clinically significant? Put a timestamp on it and say, like, you did XYZ here, and the way this happened makes me think that this is happening or something. I don't know. Like, I'm just thinking, I see, like, like a therapist or whatnot, they like write something down when you say something, and I'm thinking, what are they writing? Like, I could have just gone on this whole monologue with like, like there's like 7 different story arcs you could follow through this, all with their own deep, intricate meaning that are all very important to who I am. And they picked like one thing to write down. They might have just wrote, like, has mood swings, and you're like, that was like such a minor detail in all of these stories. Like, it's like you miss so much. Like, what do you guys consider the most important aspects of all of this? If you give a shit at all, I'm assuming you do, because if I assume you don't, there's no point in even asking. Consider both possibilities. You might not give a shit. Well, either way, I'm curious. Whether you answer or not, I'm putting it out there that I am curious to the answer, whether you answer me or not. Is this still recording? Wow, 34 minutes? I thought it had been 12. Genuinely. That kind of freaks me the fuck out. Oh, my eyes have been closed for a long time, haven't they? There's always more to say. That's why I made a whole channel instead of just a video. But for now, I think this is good. Goodbye.